time and effort, because that is, in fact,
a little gusto.
yeah.
Yeah, it took me so long to get this up. You know, it's like, all right, I have this area that I'm wanting to cover, but I can't exactly mount.
Are those like just shades for your yard or something like that? Okay.
Also, surprisingly cheap, which was great. But yeah, it's like, well, I have the shape that I want to cover, but I also have where I can put an anchor in.
Right.
So it's like I have kind of a squarish anchor set up, but I have a rectangular sail, and so it's just part of it's just a little loopy.
Yep. Lots of trial and error and learning to accept it not being perfect.
Good enough. You know? Good enough is good.
Yeah, good enough is where I live my life. Yeah, that's just the best place to be. Just letting go of that perfection and just like, yep, that's it. It gets the job done.
Put that in the list of lies we were told as kids. Like, always, you know, strive for the best. Keep going. Like, practice makes perfect. It's like, no. There's a good enough.
Yeah, strive for good enough. Unless you like being stressed out all the time.
Diminishing returns. Like, you want to put 5 more hours into this to make it 2% better?
Right? For no one to care or notice at all.
Right. That's how you're going to burn yourself out. I like the links. Are those new? You had those?
Yeah, those were a Christmas gift this year from Tamaray's mom. Knockoff Legos.
Yeah.
I think they were just called like building blocks.
Building blocks. They look like Lego meets Funko Pop.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like an exact rip-off of the Lego versions.
Yeah.
But they went together nicely. Yeah, I don't think they took me too long to put together. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like putting stuff together like that. Like, I would never buy myself something like that because I don't care to have things that just sit around.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't spend money on it, but somebody buys it for me.
Gift.
Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. So do you like Lego then?
A little.
It's similarly like if it was gifted to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't stomach the cost of Legos.
I didn't realize how expensive those things are.
Stupid expensive. I've looked at a lot of Lego sets and gone like, man, I want that, and then it's like, I don't want it for $400.
Yeah.
Especially like as a one-time experience, you know?
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. If I'm gonna spend that kind of time and effort to put something together, it's staying that way.
Right.
I'm just not that guy. I'm not a collector person that sees value in just having the thing. It doesn't do it for me.
I think that's a good trait.
Getting
into collecting seems like it's a. Well, I shouldn't say seems. It's a dark hole.
Yeah, it's a very dark hole, and you truly have to have disposable income, like income that you're willing to throw away. And like, I get it. Like, some people do find happiness in surrounding themselves and stuff that they enjoy like that, but I am not that person.
You hear stories about people with their comic book heroes or Marvel collections or something, and it's like estimated how much money they spent on it.
Right.
Like, so much.
Though that is typically over like years and years and years, and appreciating value.
Oh, I didn't think about that part.
Yeah, especially with like true collectibles. Like, a lot of collectors, I mean, there are some that are willing and do spend obscene amounts of money on a thing just to have it. But I feel like a lot of people build up their collection by buying it when it's not a thing, or when it's still cheap, or finding a sweet deal.
Every once in a while, you see that thing. It's $30, it's $60. It's like, oh, it goes with my other things.
Right.
I'll get it. Do that a couple times.
I'm definitely, when it comes to spending money, I prefer to buy practical things, like something that I can use regularly. Like that's what I find value in, is something that I can actually put to use.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Tamaray is not that way at all. She is the opposite of that way. She likes to have things. She's like a crow.
I love that.
Just, yeah, collects little bits and things and refuses to throw things away. And to be fair, there has been many a times where she has found use for a lot of the random things that she just holds on to.
Neodymium magnets.
Yes. But there's also a pile of things down in our basement that are not being used.
Yeah.
I kind of have the opposite problem.
Oh, yeah?
Because growing up, like, there's just a lot of times where, like, we suddenly just had to move.
Yeah.
And we just had to throw our shit away because we're like, whatever, we'll get new shit.
Right.
Especially with my mom being, like, property manager for most of the apartments that we lived at.
Yeah.
Like, she would always get first pick at the apartments where people just left stuff in.
Oh.
So that's how we would get, like, couches and dressers. And we would just wait for people to move out and leave stuff.
Yeah.
And, go dumpster diving for whatever people leave at the dumpster. Most things can be cleaned.
Right.
So, yeah, I got used to that as a kid, just, like, always throwing stuff away. So I'm still that way where I just don't like holding on to things if it hasn't been used for a while, especially, like, when moving. I would prefer to move less stuff. So I just start throwing shit away. But there's several times and she's gotten on me about it, where I'll be like, I swear I had this thing. And she's like, no, you threw it away.
You said, damn it. You wouldn't need it, or you'd get a new one.
Yeah. That's happened to me a lot. And it's always just like random little dumb things. I'm just like, I've never used this, or I haven't used this in forever. This is pointless. And then, 2 years later, I'd have a very specific need. Yeah. And it pops in my head like, I have that thing. I don't have that thing.
Yeah. I think I'm somewhere in the middle there. My dad would always keep, like, hardware stuff. He wasn't like that with anything else in life, but little hardware stuff.
Yeah,
he might...
Typical dad move.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have been known to be a cord hoarder.
Yeah.
I'm not as bad anymore, especially in the world of, like, wireless everything. Right. It's not as important, but I was that guy.
Yeah. So I learned a little bit of that from him, keeping like, well, yeah, I might use it. And then I don't know. At some point, I kind of had that, like, yeah, I'm not using it. I haven't used it. I moved enough times that it was a pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I started embracing throwing things away or getting rid of things a little bit more.
It's nice. It's nice to declutter.
But I definitely still have some stuff in the garage that is there, and I haven't used it. I could probably get rid of it, but
yeah, all like tools and car parts, I won't throw that kind of shit away.
Yeah,
you just never know when you might need that thing.
For mine, it's like random little bits of, like, lumber.
Oh yeah, I do. I keep scrap pieces of wood,
right?
Because like that whole shelf is filled with just random extra bits from the renovation. Like just a couple of weeks ago, I got tired of all my cords hanging around. These are spare baseboards that I just slapped together and drilled a hole in real quick, and there we go. Now my cords are hidden.
Routed everything.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, keep stuff like that. But there's so many little bits that I probably should get rid of. It's like it's going to be such a niche thing to use that size or that particular.
Have you seen? There's a video going around recently of this dad and son who make videos and stuff, and they did one where the like bed frame that they're putting together is slightly off. It's like, just need a bit that's like this shape and this length, and he's like, I have it.
That exactly.
I can finally use it.
Yeah. The feeling of satisfaction in that moment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the dream. The dream right there. That's why we do it.
Mm-hmm. How's the new year been?
It's been pretty good. Going super fast.
Yeah, we've already blown through January.
Yeah. I feel like it's always how it always goes, but it always surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no complaints. Not really doing any resolutions or anything like that.
Yeah, I've never really bothered with resolutions personally.
Me neither. Sometimes I'll have like this would be a cool thing to try to learn to do by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But even that I don't really have this year. Kind of taking it in.
Just enjoying what comes.
Yeah. It feels like so far it's been sounds weird. The passing of time, January flying by has mostly been like driven by work stuff.
Are you guys slammed right now?
Well, not really. But for whatever I don't know, for whatever reason, like we're just falling behind on our schedule. And I feel like, is this my fault? I don't think it's my fault.
Yeah.
But I'm in charge of our schedule thing, so it doesn't feel great. It's just been like little things like we're waiting on the client to give us an answer. Or they give us an answer that like causes us to change things. So
it's just stuff that's purely out of your control.
Yeah, but like every day or every week, it's like, wait a minute, where did that date's get closer? Oh, that date's gone. So I don't know. I've never, at least not recently, I haven't had work like kind of be the big part of the being aware of time or dates, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And just right now it is. Not even all that stressful, just like kind of thinking about it.
It's like, oh man, these things are actually coming up.
Yeah.
I have to deal with that.
I feel like I would be stressed if it was our fault. But it's not, so it's like I got a story, I have a reason.
Right.
Still kind of sucks.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm not work from the driving thing. The thing in my life.
Were you just running out there? It does that sometimes. Where you just burst through the dog door. Yeah. You guys are missing it. It's great out there.
The weather is nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping it stays warm again today. Take her out.
I think I saw it's supposed to be nice until Friday or Saturday-ish.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're probably going to get smacked in like March this year.
Right.
It just feels like one of those years where as we start getting to those months where it's supposed to be warmer, we're just going to get some crazy snowfall.
Right. Feels like we can't have weather like this in January without paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
We probably also, I bet, need it water-wise.
Yeah. I mean, we had some decent rainfall last summer, but
that's true. We did.
Could always use more here. It's been an especially dry winter. Like, we actually had to get humidifiers for our room.
Yeah.
And one of the other upstairs rooms this year because it was painfully dry.
We rocked the humidifiers in that room.
And we ended up buying a zero water filter for upstairs too because we got tired of lugging water upstairs multiple times from the water filter down here. So we bought a little zero water filter.
I like it.
It's been good, yeah. It was pretty cheap too. I think I only paid like $25 for it, and it holds like 20 cups worth of water. So
that might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
A number of times that Cole asked me, "Hey, can you put my water down?"
Yeah, Tamaray's been utilizing that for her water cup that is attached to her at all times, and it filters way better than our fridge filter does. And it came with a little. What is it called? Some sort of sensor that lets you know how clean the water is, and then like, once it gets to a certain reading, it recommends changing the filter. Yeah,
that's cool. I'm guessing if those $25, I guess the filters aren't too expensive.
I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked at the filters yet. I'm willing to bet it probably is about the same price
Right.
for the filter. Like they get you in
Yeah.
with the super low price for everything, and then yeah, you just pay the same price over and over again. Yeah, that is some pure clean water though.
Oh, look into that. How big is it? Pick up a lot of.
Not super big. I'd say about the size of this, but like skinnier, but like similar height.
Okay.
And like depth as well.
Okay, that's not bad.
And we just have it sitting on our dresser.
I feel like something I've seen advertised a lot lately are like little water dispensers, almost like a water fountain that you put on your dresser. But what they don't show is that you're going to need to run
it
like
needs to be hard lined.
Yeah. People are like, oh, I can just put this here. It's like, no. That's going to be the annoying part.
There is additional stuff that has to happen for that. At some point, we'd love to get like a reverse osmosis kind of setup because she's got all of her carnivorous plants that need that like pure distilled water. Apparently, she looked up and she can use the water from the zero water in it, but I don't think it can be like the main water source for those plants. But like if you need a top off or something, it's fine.
How do those things live in nature?
Not here.
Yeah.
Most of the like her favorite ones are native to the Carolinas, actually. Yeah, they need humidity.
Yeah.
And yeah, they survive like rainwater is what they get. So rainwater is perfect for them. Like she'll collect rainwater over the summer when it's raining out.
Oh, really? That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much a reverse osmosis is set up for like
not terribly expensive. Oh, really? You can get countertop ones for like $250, $300, and cool. Yeah, they just like you would just hook it up to your sink setup. You would just tee off the lines,
right,
and have one go to the faucet, one go to the reverse osmosis machine, and then probably you'd have to buy like. I guess in our instance, like we have a soap dispenser built into our sink, so if we just remove the soap dispenser, it could just have the spout there.
Yeah, that's cool. And then probably a drain.
Yeah, I'm sure it would just connect to the same drain or whatever, or like I'm sure a plumber could hook that up in half a second.
Yeah, cool.
And we'd love to do a whole home humidifier at some point too. That would be freaking amazing.
I was just talking about that with Nicole. I haven't looked at the price, but I'm sure they're.
Yeah, I don't think those are very cheap. Yeah, they have to tie into like the ventilation and heating system and have a water supply getting to it. And I think that water supply needs to be filtered so that it doesn't have a bunch of minerals and garbage going through it. And you need the space in the water closet for it. And I think like our water closet, it's poorly set up. Like there's room in there, but the way it's set up, it's like not easy to get to where there is room.
Yeah.
It would be a whole situation. Like I feel like something like that is something that's best done during the build process because retrofitting is not the easiest thing. But man, that would be great. Just not be dry in my home all the time.
Yeah, I learned the retrofitting thing. We installed air conditioning in our house.
Oh, how was that?
I guess I didn't say we didn't. Like, we
had one, had one installed.
Because it seemed like it'd be super easy, and it wasn't too bad. But now I'm learning, like, when the fan runs for air conditioning, it runs faster than when it runs for the furnace, like heat. and that fan doesn't do great running at that higher speed.
So you need to upgrade your fan as well.
Pretty much, which is like integral to the furnace. So we'll have to just do the whole furnace,
upgrade the whole system. And then the fun part about homes in Colorado that were built without an AC in mind is all of the vents are on the floor.
Yes.
So there's none on the ceiling, which makes cooling upstairs difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, we run into that problem here because this was built without AC. She just had the AC installed like 4 years ago. Yeah. And I don't know, the unit that was installed seems kind of small for this home. But I don't know, maybe I'm sure they're super efficient, and I'm sure the guy that installed it like did the math for the size home, but we also have the issue of like all the vents are on the freaking floor.
Right.
So it just sucks to get it's really hard to get the air pushed all the way up there.
We there's a lot of just like general rule of thumb stuff I think they do for sizing it, because we got a couple of quotes, and one person said, oh, this should be the right size. Another person said this should be the right size. Like, they don't do a thorough analysis for that.
What's the biggest I could sell them without setting off any alarms?
Right. And, we opted for the smaller one because it's cheaper. And, like, 2 people said the smaller size, 1 person said the bigger size. And I kind of think the person with the bigger size might have been right.
Oops.
Yeah. So right now it's like, it's not enough to, like, keep the house comfortable and cooler, but like when it's really hot outside, it's
it's unpleasant. Yeah, you have to like cover up all the windows and
like we could, it'd just be running all the time, but like we're not going to get it down to 62 or something.
Yeah, that was a struggle we had this summer because at night we like to be cool, like as cool as possible, and like, we can't afford to be letting this thing run that way all summer. But at some point when we've got a few extra bucks, we'll probably get another one of these, like a smaller version of these, just to have upstairs for those particularly hot nights in the bedroom.
Yeah,
I have a problem. Like, I run hot, but I can't sleep without a big comforter. Like, I need a large comforter to like burrito into and like have a little bit of weight on me. So I can't just like sleep with sheets or something like that. Like, that just doesn't work for me.
So you gotta have it cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, fortunately the way our house is set up, like our rooms can stay pretty cool.
Nice.
The nursery is a little bit warmer because it gets more sunlight, but we can overcome that.
Yeah, it could definitely be worse for us too, because we're on the north side of the house. Her room where she has her plants and where she hangs out and does her yoga just gets blasted by the sun all day, and it's got one of the biggest windows in the house too. So great for the plants.
Right.
Plants love it, but when she's just hanging out in there, it can be a little miserable sometimes, especially since when we first move in and she set up her room, this dingus like didn't pay attention to where she was putting stuff.
Okay.
And didn't realize she covered up the vent.
Oh, no.
And like for the longest time we thought like maybe the guys who did the carpet just carpeted over the vent.
Yeah.
And they're like, here's the vent, like there's no vent in here. Huh. And then she was rearranging one day and she's like, oh,
found it.
I messed up. And like even I had gone in there looking and I had moved stuff around, but I guess I didn't move stuff around enough because I didn't want to like completely disturb her space. But yeah, it was there the whole time.
Nicole will do that. She will cover it. Second thought.
Like, we need that.
She'll have a pile of clothes and she'll right on the vent. It's like, well,
all right.
You're wondering why I got that air in here,
right?
At least your dirty clothes are warm.
Right? It's just pushing that smell around. Hopefully not too stinky.
Mm-hmm.
How's the kiddo?
He's doing pretty well. I think finally got through some sickness.
Nice. Is he He over a year now?
Yep, he is a year and a half plus a little extra.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's all this viral stuff going around.
Oh, really?
Everywhere. Oh yeah, like schools were hit hard, daycare.
Oh, I think I heard of that. That was that like the cough that wouldn't go away thing.
Yeah.
It was like it's not RSV or like whooping cough, but it's something.
Yeah. So he had that, and it didn't hit him like too hard, but you know he had fever and he was sick, and then he had an ear infection from that.
No, man.
I'm assuming it's from that, which honestly didn't seem to bother him too much. But we took him to the doctor because like 3 weeks in a row he was sent home from daycare with a fever. I was like, what is going on? And they looked. It's like, oh, by the way, he has an ear infection.
Great.
So he's just
add that to the list of shit to do.
Right. So he's wrapped up antibiotics, and he's feeling. Seems like right now he's feeling great.
That's good.
But we got a message yesterday from daycare saying, by the way, there's a 24-hour stomach bug going through everyone. So I dropped him off this morning at daycare. There was like 2 kids there.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so
has it been hitting the staff as well?
I'm not sure. His teacher was there. One of the other teachers wasn't. But I don't know if that's because there weren't a lot of kids, so she just took off, or if she got sick. They didn't really say. So we thought about like, man, do we just keep them away? You know, keep them home?
Just keep them home, just in case.
And that's like, no, we don't.
Or do you let them just be among it and get that immunity if he needs
to?
Right.
So decided to take him in because I thought, well,
yeah, worst case scenario, you just deal with it.
Exactly. It'll only be 24 hours. So yeah. And like you said, build a little immunity. Or since he doesn't go in on Mondays, like maybe since it ran through everyone this weekend and everyone caught it, like hopefully they'll just avoid it.
Yeah, it'll be cleared through already.
Right. And so like seeing all the kids missing, it's like, well, hopefully anyone who was sick is gone. We'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Don't bring anything home, little buddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I do that all the time.
And you just like finish up what he's not finishing.
And I also wonder why, like, man, I was trying to lose weight. Why is that happening?
What's going on? Yeah, those few bites here and there, they add up. Especially like I'm sure baby stuff is, or like toddler foods are just chock full of calories.
We try
and protein.
Yeah. And, you know, like, oftentimes you like have one bite and say, no, I don't want this, good. Even though I loved it the other day. So it's like, well,
all right, well, I guess I'm finishing these dino nuggies then.
Yeah.
Last time around, how'd you feel about the length in the back? I I was a little on the fence on it myself about how long it was in the back. How did you feel? Did it bother you at all, or
no? It did feel like it grew in pretty quickly, though. Like pretty quickly, it was like, oh man.
Okay, so I'll taper that down a little bit more, then just to get a little bit
see how that goes.
Bit of time out of it.
Yeah, I honestly I thought it looked really good, but then I was like, man, it feels like back when I had my long hair.
Yeah,
which honestly, it doesn't look bad. Like it gets some waviness in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Matthew McConaughey or something.
Getting the flow.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just noticeable. But yeah, let's try like you said, taper it down a little bit more this time and we can see which way works better.
Y'all got any trips or anything planned for the year?
Yes, that's a lie. In July, we're gonna go to Banff with my parents.
Oh, dope!
Yeah.
I hear awesome things about Banff.
Incredible.
Yeah, the pictures always make it seem just insanely out. It's like Andor in Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
the forest planet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. Just not a long trip by any means. But just kind of take a look at those pictures and realize.
Yeah.
So other than that, though, we thought we were going to Florida in March, to visit friends, but we're coordinating that trip with other people, and it kind of feels like maybe those plans are falling through.
Oh dang!
So pushing back, hopefully not completely falling through.
Just life happening for everyone.
That's exactly what it is, man. Exactly what it is.
What happens as we get older?
One group guy, they just moved to Atlanta because he took a new job. He's always been like a plant manager kind of guy, production manager. So he's in charge of a whole plant there. He's just a little bit older than me. Actually, how we met is he hired me.
Oh, neat.
In Augusta. But all that to say, like he's kind of one of those wonderkin type.
It's just always got things going on.
Yeah, and this plant he's taken over is just evidently it's a mess and people suck. It's kind of making his life miserable. I think they're paying him stupid amounts of money.
Yeah, so it's not one of those situations where he's having fun getting it back in order. He's stepped into a situation.
Yeah, because I do think he enjoys that work, like solving problems, making it better.
Yeah, people that are actually good at that, like they do enjoy that. Like they find great pleasure in coming into a mess and making it a better mess.
Right. But he is constantly complaining about the people. So I think this one's just actually making his life out. And they bought a house there, so it's not like
he's locked in.
Exactly. So
at least until capital gains time is
right.
up.
So I don't know what they're gonna do, but he's kind of saying like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be able to do
Now's not a good time.
And then the friends who live in Florida, who we were visiting, they wanted to do March because they were having another kid. So like later in the year, they're going to be, pretty much out of commission. But they just found out like the kid is not just. They found out just last week, Thursday or Friday, that essentially it's not viable. Down syndrome and has other issues. Like if they were to go forward, like they might not survive. They certainly wouldn't.
Oh, dang.
So they actually just had an abortion on Saturday.
Dang.
So they're like, well, so they're feeling pretty bad. But
there's some emotions that need to be processed. I'm sure that whole situation wasn't cheap either.
But they're saying, well, we don't have that timeline anymore. Like we'll be more available towards the end of the year when we weren't previously.
So yeah, on the one hand, it opened up some time for
Right.
them, but they're still going to need some time to process that.
Feeling for them. They have a kid who's like 6 months old. And he's about 2, I guess. Yeah, he just turned 2 in summer. And like that's a handful. We're lucky because like my parents are out here. We have a lot of help with them, but they're just alone. Their works are evidently not very understanding.
Oh dang!
So I don't know. Life I think is already hard, and his mom is like deteriorating health. I think she has Alzheimer's. She has some kind of dementia.
That's rough.
Yeah. So
they got a lot going on.
They have a lot going on, dude. Like when talk about things piling up, that's them, unfortunately. So this kind of sucks, but also I would never, ever, ever tell them this. Like maybe this is a bit of a blessing. Like maybe you guys, because it's not like they're too old. Like oh, this was our last chance or anything. It's like
maybe that's not what you need
right now. Right when they announced, or they told us like, oh, we're hoping to have another one, and they said, yeah, we're having another one. I'm so confused. And,
right.
So I think in the long run, this will hopefully play out okay. But I can't imagine what it feels like.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So all that's to say, I don't think much for this.
You're just gonna play it by ear this year. It sounds like. Yeah, my good buddy, whose mom owns this house. Him and his wife have been trying for years to get pregnant, and they're about to start going. Like they're already doing some fertility treatments, but they're about to start going down the very expensive route, or even just start talking adoption. But they finally got pregnant, so. Normally we all do a big family vacation in like August or September, but they're looking like they're going to be due end of July. So they're like, well, no vacation this year.
Yeah.
But on the plus side of that, landlord was like, well, if I'm not spending all that money on vacation, I think I can now get the basement renovated. So we're like, ooh, that'll be nice. That'll be cool.
That's a win.
Yeah. That'll be nice if we can get that renovated and actually utilize the basement for more than just storage. Because our original plan when we moved in here was to use the basement living room as our main entertainment area, and then use this upstairs living room to house all of Tamaray's plants and stuff, since there's tons of natural sunlight. And like that living room was just not meant to have like a TV and all that stuff. Like back when she lived here, there was never a TV in there. She had a couch and a coffee table and then like some of her knickknacks and stuff like that. But that's just where you sat to like chat and stuff. Yeah, that feels right. Like it was never designed to be an actual entertainment space.
Right.
So that'll be cool.
Cool.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm hoping at some point to make it down to Santa Fe. I've been wanting to go down there for a while.
Yeah, I've never spent any time in New Mexico. One of Tamaray's best friends lives down there. I'm not sure. She might be Santa Fe or possibly Albuquerque. Who knows? Yeah, we want to go down and see like Meow Wolf and check out the food scene, and I guess the art scene down there is pretty cool too.
Pretty cool. Driven through it, so I had work further south in New Mexico, and I don't know, I kind of like the drive.
Yeah, it's not a bad drive. No. And yeah, especially as you get through like southern Colorado, like those winding mountain roads are pretty neat, except for when there's a torrential downpour. The first time I ever drove through there was when I was coming back from Florida for my buddy's wedding, and yeah, like right as we were hitting North New Mexico, just torrential downpours, and we were driving a little Mini Cooper at the time. And yeah, we were going through those winding roads, could barely see. There's like water, like 2 inches of water on the road. It was terrifying. We survived, but yeah, I think there were points where I was on like the highway only going like 40, 45 miles an hour because I was like terrified.
Yeah, because when it does rain in that area, it is that torrential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't see anything. The water just collects everywhere.
Yeah,
there ain't no way I would drive through there during winter, though. I'm sure that's frightening. But on a good day,
it's a nice drive.
It's nice. Yeah. I've made that drive through there several times. That's my preferred route to get to Florida in those southern states. I've done east through Kansas and all that a few times as well, and yeah, I feel like south is just the preferable way for me, at least.
Yeah, we always did from Colorado through Kansas to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I went to school, so I like St. Louis.
Okay.
Then hit Nashville, and then on to like South Carolina.
I feel like if you're hanging out in one of those states that's a little more north, like if you're headed for like the Tennessees or the Carolinas or something like that, yeah, that east route is nice. But I feel like if you're planning on being more south, especially if you're headed like directly into the panhandle of Florida, yeah, take that south route and then just take with the I-10 all the way east. Who are you barking at? Who's he?
Somebody's at the front door.
Oh, I think it's my shear sharpener. She's a little early. Give me 1 sec. Excuse you. Hello.
Hello.
Good. How are you? For the shears?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me go grab them. I'll bring them out.
Yeah. Do you need anything to use while I have yours?
No, I'm actually just finishing up with my guy, so I'm good. Thank you. Forgot what you was saying. You really don't need to be that much of a menace.
Good protector. Thank you. And I will be back.
Awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right.
It's one of those moments like, oh
yeah.
Shear sharp.
It's super important.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, this is my first time ever actually going with a local sharpener.
Yeah.
I bought from a high-end brand when I first got started, a brand called Hattori Hanzo.
Uh-huh.
And so you can pay for insurance and shear sharpening through them. It was like, used to be like $10 a month, and it became like $15 a month over the years. But I always paid for that service, which includes 4 sharpenings a year, and then accident, like if you lose them or they break or whatever, you can get them replaced for like $150.
Yeah.
Which is a good deal because I paid $1,000 for the shears. But after, like, I always had like kind of hit or miss luck with the representatives. Like the representatives are always just kind of a pain in my ass to deal with.
Huh.
And then like the last handful of times that I sent them off to get sharpened, like it would come back not in the best shape, or like the last time I sent them, I had the guy pick him up in January.
Yeah.
And they always leave you with like a demo pair to
Sure.
use for a while.
Wow.
And I spaced out, and I don't know what happened with him, but it was like 2 or 3 months later, I finally realized, like,
Wait a minute,
he still has my shears. These aren't actually mine.
Yeah.
And it took me forever. Like, he wouldn't answer me, so I had to call corporate. And he finally got back to me, and he got them back to me, and I'm pretty sure he forgot that he took them and that they were mine, and he was giving those to people as a demo shear because they were worse than I gave them to him. And yeah, it was a whole situation. So I still have those shears, but I ended up buying another cheapo pair for now. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll see if she does a good job with those, and then if she does a good job with those, I'll send her with my other ones at some point. Yeah, see if she can fix them because those are in pretty bad shape.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
And so I guess she takes them back to her place and.
I think she does them out of her van.
Oh, cool.
So she should be done with them pretty quickly.
That's sharpening a knife.
Similar. So I've looked it up, and I tried to learn on my own how to sharpen shears, and there's not a lot of info on the internet about it. It's a pretty closely guarded secret.
Interesting.
So from what I've found out, they do use whetstones like you would with a knife, but they also have like special machines as well that'll help them get like that exact angle.
Because the angle's weird.
Yeah, the angle's super specific, and then it's like a concave blade, I think, typically. So it's a little bit of a beveled edge, and like there's only the edge on the one side as well, so that's super important. Yeah, and like having everything line up, it's a whole thing. Right. So
Interesting.
Yeah, like I think they'll use the whetstone to kind of like knock everything down and get it kind of into a level place, and then they use their machine to like really fine tune that edge.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
So
like
it's not just like a knife sharpener can do shears too. It's special.
Yeah, maybe. Like I think most of the shear sharpeners I've seen, they also do knives, but I don't think that's the same as all knife sharpeners can do shears.
That makes sense. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I saw on her site, she has listed, she does hair cutting shears, dog grooming shears, and knives, and I think she had listed something else as well.
I know a friend who's into sewing projects, and she's very particular about her.
Oh, yeah, she does craft shears as well, like fabrics and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny. Like she'll have her kitchen scissors, her fabric scissors, her.
Yeah, we're the same way because we've got our hair shears, we got our kitchen stuff, and then Tamray, she's into crafting and sewing and stuff like that too. So yeah, she's got like 2 to 3 pairs of fabric shears. I bought her a really like nice pair for Christmas a couple years ago.
Cool.
And yeah, she really likes those.
From what I understand, God forbid, you use